Well, hello everybody. I am live. And Facebook, yikes. I don't know what's going on with Facebook. There's like national outages today. They're having problems with instant messenger being down and all kinds of stuff. Anyway, I'm just sitting here making these origami boxes to hold some Christmas treats at Christmas time. I don't know if you guys have ever made these before, and why am I struggling with this one? So today my plan is to make a scrapbook page. I just need to get this out of the way. Aren't these boxes cute? They're just origami folds, and then I have some little decorations for the top, all colored and ready. So no biggie, right? Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4. Looks like I'm gonna need one more. And anyway, let me get this out of the way. I bought another pack of that Take a Bow paper, and I had it on my desk when Facebook wasn't working, when Facebook Live wasn't working. I thought, well, I'll just make those boxes real quick, and so I'm doing pretty good. Anyway, let me get those out of the way. Those are for later. Woo! How's everybody doing? Today has been a pretty good day. I've, not everybody, I realize, has the time like I do to craft and play and do things. And, you know, I take advantage of that time whenever I can. But anyway, today I want to show you the reason I have this paper pack out is this paper right here. It has like that peppermint candy cane kind of stripe, and I'm using it on a scrapbook page today because I love how it looks, and it's the closest thing I have to postage looking paper. You know how postage, like airmail and stuff, has the red and blue or red and white like outline? That's what I was looking for. Other things, and so you know, I'm gonna make a page that has like some postage stuff on it, using the Stampin' Up! Postage set. Yeah, I love it. And you guys know I can't get enough of this set. And then I also am using a little things here and there out of different sets. This one I'm using the snowflakes out of Snowy Wonder. I'm using this little postagey cancellation mark and this big round mark. I thought about using the little snowflakes, but I did not. In this Stamped with Love set, I'm using these letters. And then I kind of dug through. This was a set that I got from Daisy Lane last time I went. And $4, I was like, deal. And what I love is this stamp right here, which is so adorable with the little heartbeats. And I thought, you could put anything on the end of that. You could put a little dog face. You could put a little, just Valentine's. I was like, this is really neat. And it had never been opened, ever. Whoever sold this had never even opened the pack. Sweet Pea Designs, I've never even heard of them, which is so sad. But anyway, I'm using these letters out of the set today. And then I got this out thinking I might use the snow, but I ended up not using that. Okay, so I have all the stamp sets out, and I have them on blocks. The other thing that's non-Stampin' Up! That I'm using, I don't have, Stampin' Up! Has some holly berries and leaves, but they're all the wrong size for what I was wanting. And so this is a old Sizzix set. It says Sizzix and it's got a number on it. 6599990A. That's the number on the back. And so there are 6599990A. I do not know what this came with, but I threw it on a magnet and I've kept it in my holly and berry drawer because it's like the perfect size. It's the perfect size. I don't have anything else that's better than that. It's awesome. So I was starting to put together a layout for my people who purchase in December. And I was like, well, you know, I'm going to use the color mint. It is a close to my heart color. And I think Stampin' Up! Has a color very similar. Yeah. Pool Party is really close to it. Not quite as minty, but it leans a little minty. Okay. So you could use that if you wanted to recreate this page. And I really love those layouts that you could gut the back, but I did not because I wanted it to be sturdy. I did use this lagoon piece and I gutted it and I put the white on top, and it's really sturdy because this is that paper that Steve brought me that is acid-free and it's very, very heavy. Now, what you'll see on here is I cut a 1/4 inch off of those Take a Bow papers because I wanted it to look like a mail strip. And I did top and bottom. So not all of as I made more layouts, I got better at lining these up where you couldn't see the seam. Because like there, you can totally see that seam. But I mean, I don't think it matters that much. I don't know. Anyway, so let me show you what else I have here. So this is from Snowy Wonder. It is that peachy colored paper. And I really wanted a soft color to go on the back behind my photos or your photos, because I'll be sending this out to you. And for the, you know what, the people who purchase from me, I just want to say thank you because I don't have a ton of customers and I really, really appreciate the orders and you just have no idea, like it keeps me going and it makes me so happy to be able to keep going like this. And so, you know, it means a lot to me. So thank you. I know you can buy from anybody and there's a million people on YouTube. There's a million people out there doing Stampin' Up! And you know, everybody's got great ideas. You can watch YouTube for hours and find a million ideas to copy and steal or, you know, tweak, whatever. Got my joy mug today. Okay, anyway, so this is where we're starting and so let me just tell you some measurements. I have a 12 by 12 sheet of mint. The lagoon piece is it's 10 inches by 11 inches. And I have it going all the way to the left-hand side. Okay. And then, no, it's 10 and a half by 11 and a quarter. So sorry. And then the white is 10 by 11. So the white has a 1-inch border all around and the lagoon creates a 1/4 inch border all around. So that's basically where I'm at with that. And then for here, I just put this strip a little on the upper, not exactly in the center. I left probably 3 inches down here. I got out my ruler because seriously, 2 3/4 and about 1 3/4 up here, about 2 3/4 here. This paper, I cut it to a 5 1/4-ish. I say ish because a lot of my papers are ish. Now the next paper I want to use also from Snowy Wonder, and it is this cute little candy cane. I was trying to keep everything in here a little bit, you know, a little bit soft. I didn't want to bring in a bunch of bold color. You know that some of those paper packs are already so bold. And I thought, you know, this doesn't have to be every single layout does not need to be like the boldest colors. And then all you have to do is flip it over and you can trim any overhang that you have. I'll trim that off in a minute, but no biggie. All right, so here's basically the right-hand side of the page. So what I did was I took that postage die and I cut the second largest die. So there's a big die and one size smaller. And the one size smaller, I am going to use as a photo mat. Now, this red makes this layout just pop and it's just beautiful, but just keep in mind that you're gonna have a photo on there, you know, so only a little bit of that red will show. So if you're gonna tweak this at home when you get it, you're gonna add something to it, it probably needs to be added in red. Like if you're gonna add a title, do it in red. It'll really help bring this out. So let me just show you. I do not tend to do a ton of measuring, and you may notice that. You may notice that I did not measure these, but I kind of laid them out to get a general idea of how much room I have on each side and in the middle. And I am going to start with this left side. I'm going to kind of make it the same here and here and try to make it as even as possible. And then I'm going to do the same thing on the right side where I have, you know, a border, make it approximately the same top to bottom. And then when I put the center in place, this would look really cool popped up and cockeyed like this. I'm just saying you could, a lot of options here, but I'm just going to try to even it between the two. And so here's my right hand page, and right now it has a little bit of a peppermint vibe, but it's gonna, I was like the blue and the blue green and the red, you know, teal and red. I don't know. It's a little non-traditional Christmas, but I really like it. So let's do the left-hand companion page. When I was like, oh, I should show this on my live, I already had some of that put together. So I was like, okay. So here I can show you again how I gutted that frame. And you've seen me gut frames a million times. So this lagoon is 11 1/4 by 10 1/2, 11 1/4 by 10 1/2. And then I just basically left an inch around it. You could have left less because you could have left a 1/2 inch, but I left an inch just for a little more stability when I put it together. Okay. And then the white piece is 10 by 11. And I want to put this on so that there is an even border all around. And so let me just adhere like crazy. You know, with this Facebook being down today, I realized I really need to make my YouTube channel a little more usable. And in order for me to use YouTube, I need 50 followers. I do not have that many followers because I haven't put that much content on there yet. And if you guys could follow me, that would be amazing. Connie Crafts. If you search for Connie Hart, Connie Crafts, Connie Sam, you'll find my page. But I'll try to post a link. And if you guys could follow me, even if you don't ever watch it, that's okay. I just thought if I get 50 people, I can go live on YouTube and I can play around a little more with YouTube options. Right now, I mostly have Reels on there. Facebook is getting more and more weird is the word, with some of the problems that I'm having. And I think I don't know. I just want a backup plan. And I don't have a backup plan if I don't have enough followers. Okay, so here's those 1/4-inch strips of that Take a Bow paper. The other side is the green and red print, but I'm going to use a little red and white stripes. And basically what I did, I put some glue, and I'm starting here because whatever I have that will hang over the edge, I can trim really easy, right? Now here I have this, and I am going to overlap. See how I told you I'm getting better at making this work. I was like, oh yeah, I have tons that I'm cutting off. I don't know why I didn't overlap a little bit, you know? So there we go. And then you can just line that up and look at all, it looks like a full 12-inch strip. Much better. I'm gonna flip this around and do the same thing on this side. I like to use liquid glue, obviously, because it's just it's easier to slide this strip into place. I can butt it up against that, you know, lagoon piece. It's so nice that way. All right. And actually that lines up not too bad. So I'm just gonna leave that way. It doesn't have to be an exact match. It just, you want it to be close. Not like an obvious cut. And some of them might be a little more obvious, sorry. Sorry people. Sorry people who get my free layout. The other thing is, there we go. There's that one. Okay. I am toying around with making some 3D, like, dimensional cards. I'm moving this around so you can see the whole thing. Let me zoom a little. I'm messing around with my camera. Okay, there we go. So the reason I'm doing this is because now I have the remainder of this piece, and I'm turning it to line up the stripes because I want it to look like one big continuous piece. And that's how it goes, more or less. It's pretty close. And so I'm going to put that on the page, and I just want to butt the two pages up together and put this approximately the same. Now, not many albums have your layouts touching like that, so it doesn't have to be too perfect, but you want it fairly similar. All right, let me see. Where is my other candy cane stripe? I don't know what I did with it. Hold on a sec. Oh, it's in a pile. It's in a pile over here. Okay, so now I'm going to do my little candy cane stripe. Same thing here. When you have something like this, you want to make it start where you want it to line up perfect, right? And then go off the page, because you can always flip it over and trim that little bit of excess that you have there. If it's not an exact fit. And that way you're able to do that really easy. If you made this side too long, you would be like struggling, right? Okay, ta-da, there's that. Now the next thing I want to do is everybody got some wood grain. And I want to put that here, and I kind of want to butt it up against the other paper. This, you may recognize, is wood grain from my stash. I wanted it to be super light, like a pale wood grain. I did not want it to be yellow tone. And so, I wanted it to be gray because I want this to be more soft, not quite so, I don't want competing things. And I was afraid if I used a yellow toned-ish wood grain, I would have to do something over here to balance it. And this way it's just sort of part of the background. All right, so now I have another one of those. I have a large postage die cut and the next size smaller, see? And this next size smaller goes here, and I want that to line up with these others. So again, I'm gonna butt the pages up, and I'm gonna put this here. Now, I just want it to top and bottom be the same as over here, but it doesn't have to line up exactly perfect distance-wise. Like I could scooched it over, but I did not. Okay, the big one, I want it on the wood grain, okay? And I'm gonna make it a little bit wonky. Now, it's hard for me to make things crooked on purpose because my natural tendency is to line it up and make it all lined up. But I kind of like the idea of this one being a little different, and it'll be highlighted a little bit. So this would be like, for example, the picture of me and Steve, you know, daughter, niece, dog, cats, whatever. You know what I mean? Whole family. This would have looked really nice horizontal as well. Okay, just saying. Now I would need to do just a little bit of stamping on the page, and I have those stamps that I talked about. I have some snowflakes. I have a little heart. I have the little cancellation die, or a little cancellation stamp. And so I just want to do a little bit. So the colors I pulled are mint, lagoon, and cranberry. And in the world of Stampin' Up, this would be like Pool Party, Real Red, and I don't know what color that is. You guys, I need to learn my colors soon. Summer Splash and Pool Party go great together. You can see how that works. And then that Real Red is so a long time ago, you know, Close to My Heart had cranberry, which was my all-time favorite red. And I use it all the time. I love it. And I'm going to use mint right now. And the big snowflake. So I was very excited to be able to use that real red again and have a source for the paper and the ink. Very good. All right, so I'm just putting some giant snowflakes down in mint. Done with that. And then I'm gonna hold off on doing the other stamps until I get my other decorations on here. So what I did a couple of things. This little stamp right here is from Stamplistic. I made a whole bunch of them. I made, I think 30 or 35 of these to do as a tag swap. And I kept a few of these cut with postage for myself for use on a scrapbook page. And I thought this would be a perfect like gift for you guys. Let me get my tape. I have foam tape here somewhere. Just a second. Okay. So I'm gonna pop this up on the page with some foam, and surprisingly, I did not pop up a ton of stuff on this layout. I usually do. But this time I thought, you know, it's kind of nice once in a while to not be working with foam tape and stuff. So anyway, I made this cute little postage thing. I'm going to pop that one up and it's going to go right here. And then I used the postage, other postage dies and that snowy winter paper. And I cut images out of the paper to make some postage. And I backed it with that peach color-ish paper. I think it's probably peach pie. You know, it might be, no, it's not pretty. It's not peach pie. I think it might be pretty in pink. Oh, it's petal pink. Look at that. Okay, petal pink. Yes, I'm gonna learn these colors. It's really pretty. It's kind of the peachy color of that Close to My Heart carried. So it's similar. Okay, so I'm going to put some postage up here. I'm gonna put some down here. I just want it to be like a little arrangement over here. And the other thing that I have for this side, I cut a little circle. I cut those little letters. I cut the bigger letter. I cut several dies, okay, that I showed you earlier, little dies in that lagoon / summer splash color. Look at me learning my colors. Okay, I like this letter thing being here, like part of the arrangement, right? And you can put it anywhere. You know, it would look really cute anywhere. And you could have done this in lots of different ways and made multiples of each thing. I mean, really, there's so many options here. I just did not go too haywire. All right, so there's that one. And I'm going to put this one on. Like that. that. And see how my stamp snowflake kind of sticks out the side. Anyway, hi Margie. Oh, that sea glass style Christmas tree you made is stunning. I just want you to know that. I have always wanted one of those. I didn't realize there was somewhere in town that was teaching you how to make those. That is beautiful. I'm just putting a liquid glue on there just so I can wiggle around if I need to. It also holds it a little sturdier. And I want to make sure, you know, that I have just a little bit of room right here so that, you know, your photo, when it goes on, you're not having to, you know, unstick something, right? So I like that. Okay. Now this little fella, I'm on the fence. Do I pop him up? Do I make him? I don't think he needs popped up. I'm gonna do it like this. Anyway, so today's weird, right? With the snow, we're having, what did they call that? It's gusts of wind, and then when it moves through, you just get this huge amount of snow that poof everywhere, and it's really cool. It looks like you're in some kind of, you know, crazy snowstorm for about 10 minutes, and then it moves on. Squall, that's what they called it, a squall. Okay, I am using that beautiful lagoon color, and I am just using these cool little snowflakes. These are from that snowy winter, and I love to kind of cluster things together a little bit, you know? Nice. Okay. All right, there's that one. And then I want to add a few little hearts on this page. I could have used gems. You know, this is one of the first pages in a while where I haven't used gems. And instead, I used the little heart stamp. And I don't know why. I was just in the mood to stamp. Now, the other thing that I want to do is I need to get my other things in here. What this is from the postage die set. I'm looking for it around me. Where did I put it? Hold on. Okay. There's this one part of the postage die set right here. Looks kind of like a ticket, right? And that's what that is. I cut it out of that legume color, and I cut it in half. And then I'm basically gonna cut it again, and I'm gonna put like a little thing on here tucked under, so it looks like a little kind of ribbon tab. And then I took one of those circles and cut it in half, and I'm just gonna tuck that in right here. And what's nice about that is, you know how we like little tabs and stuff, like you could write 2024, you could write, you know, names or whatever in there. It's kind of nice to just have a little spot to journal above a picture. So that's what I have. Now, I think gems would really add to this. I think a little sparkle, a little shine would really be fun. Did I add it? No, I did not. Okay, I still have some more little things to add to the pages. So I'm going to bring in both pages again. And one of the things that I want to do is I want to make a little cluster down here on this side, okay? And I'm going to use that little ticket again. And my thought was I wanted to make, you know how postage cancellations have like the little circle and then the thing. I was going to stamp a postage cancellation in there, and I decided instead to leave it blank because, like I said, it's very nice to have a little spot just to journal or something. And so I'm doing this little ticket thing, and I'm going to put it right here. And I have my letters, and I'm going to put it over here. And then this, I think I'm going to put a little bit of foam onto this circle. Let's see if I made that too big. Of course I did. And I'm just gonna put that here. Oh, no, that's all right. I like it overlapping a little more, but that's okay. All right, so now we have this little thing here. I'm gonna put a little extra glue in there. You know, my other thought was I've been playing around with these little wax seals, and I thought, oh, look how cute. Look how cute with the little snowflake. It fits perfect in there. And I have snowflakes on the other page. Maybe I will. I'm just gonna do it. So somebody's gonna get one with the wax seal. It'll add some bulk for sure, because I added foam and the seal to it. Okay, the last thing I want to do is I want to add a little more. I have that lagoon color here and I have it here. I feel like I need a little balance up here. And so my plan is to put some really cute little holly leaves above each picture. So I'm just going to set those out. I want to make sure I have enough. I'm going to put one here also. How cute. Aren't those sweet? Now, I need to make them, you know, closer, but you get the idea, right? All right, so I'm going to put one there. Now, I'm not putting them right up against the photo because I have berries to put in there. And I want to make sure I leave room for the berries. If I did it right on top, those berries would overlap the area where I want to put my photo, and I may not have space to, you know, for my photo. I'd have to cut my photo down. So do you guys watch YouTube? Do you watch YouTube, Margie? I watch it enough that I watch it often enough that I decided to do the commercial-free viewing for a while and see how much I liked it. Okay, I'm gonna put 2 dots on each thing. And then I'm just gonna pick up my berries that I made. the thing about those berries is there's like, they look all the same, but there's actually one that's a little smaller and one that's a little bigger. And so they're not all exactly identical. And so as I'm picking them up, I'm trying to, I think I have two there. Just trying to, you know, get the different sizes. All right, so there's two. I'm gonna do a third one now, right in the center. This one always seems to require a little bit more glue. That's why I did it kind of separately. There's one, and there's one. One, and there's one. This is sweet. Don't you think this layout is really sweet? All right, I'm just gonna push down on those, make sure they're well adhered. And then the last thing I have, of course I have, is my Jelly Roll pen in white. And I just want to do a little swoop of each of the leaves. And then a little white highlight on each of the berries. I know you think, gosh, that's so much fussy, but it really adds to it. When you're looking at it, it's like, oh yeah, that really is cool looking. So it really does. So let me just push that up closer so you can see what I did. And I'll just kind of show you the whole layout. This is basically it. I did not add a title to this one, but I definitely left space here for what I think needs to be a red title. Now, it could be that Lagoon or Summer Splash color across the bottom, and it would look very good. You know what I mean? It would look great. Look at that. I have more holly leaves. No, I don't need more. Anyway, I left that open because this could be a lot of stuff. This could be the Festival of Trees with all the trees. This could be, you know, Wish You Were Here, and a picture of you with, you know, all of those distant people who send you photos through Christmas card photos and things. You could cut them down or use a small photo of each family member or person who you wish was closer. I love the idea of making this, you know, safe travels over the holiday. It's holiday. You could do, you know, your stops along the way, or just anything. This would even be a cool thing if you had Christmas cards from people who wrote you a nice letter or something. You could make a pocket on the back for those, put the letter on here, or the, you know, you could get creative. I just think there's a lot of options. It doesn't have to be anything that I said. It can be anything you want to use it for. It could be all of your critters, all of your kids, you know, pictures of lights around the neighborhood, whatever. The only thing is I made all the pictures vertical, which is tricky. I'm finding I did a whole bunch of my layouts for Disney. Oh, that's the other thing. Before I wrap up, I want to show you my layouts that I did. Remember how I have been doing, these are all just plunked. You know how I pre-make my layouts and they're all like naked layouts or whatever. I just create them and I use flip flaps, whatever. I'm gonna raise my camera a little bit so you can see a little bit this, so you can see what I did. So here's one of those layouts we made. This is the flip up, and on the flip I put pictures on the back and decorations on the front. Happy Christmas. I used some of the ephemera from Stampin' Up. It's so nice to just plunk. It's really nice to just plunk. So I'm just saying it. This is that layout that we did that has the 9 squares, but obviously I didn't have photos small enough everywhere to use tiny squares, so I just trimmed my photos down and went over the squares. Like, who cares if they're not exactly on the squares? And me and Steve in front of the castle. And then here's that one with the stripes. And see, I loved using it for Mickey, us seeing Mickey Mouse. Isn't that cute? And I loved using the giant Mickey as journaling spot. And I like using flip flaps for those photos that, you know, if you have too many pictures in a row that basically look the same, like this, none of them look special. And so by highlighting your favorite one on the top, yeah, you get to see the others, but your favorite one is highlighted and it looks special, right? So I did my favorite one and Steve's favorite one. And see, look how many, you know, they really mess with that castle and the display on that. And then this layout had, remember, all of the 3x4 pictures, right? But I didn't have all 3x4 pictures. So some of them go over it. It looks fine. I used a flip flap to highlight some of the pictures that weren't as good, but I didn't want to throw them away. And the parade is like Steve's favorite thing. And I really liked having pictures of all the different princesses, and it was just a fun page to do. And then this one, the one with all the reindeer, I remember you guys are like, so many reindeer. What? Oh my God, what do you do with that? Well, the finale of the parade is always Santa Claus. And so I did the photos of Santa. And remember, I had this kind of small at the top, like for 2, like 4x4 photos or 3.5x3.5 photos or something. But I wanted the full Santa picture. I just went over it. Who cares? I lifted that sticker and tucked it under. I made a title, and there's Santa's reindeer in the parade. And then my favorite of the parade are the tin soldiers, so I had to add those. And I used flip flaps. The cool thing is Stampin' Up! Has announced that they are going to have all their flip flaps available in January. So we are not really having to go without flip flaps. And I think Creative Memories also has some flip flaps. They don't call them that, but you get it. This was my favorite page, the one with the big blue reindeer stripe in the center and the green scallopy circles. And I just used it for general decorations on Main Street. There's the decorations during the Merry Christmas party and people waiting for the parade. Interestingly, we had seen the parade in another part of the park and it hadn't reached here yet. So we were able to jog up to the front to escape before the crowds. But we got our picture of the castle with all the people in the street. That was interesting. And then just trees decorated everywhere. everywhere at Disney. It's just beautiful. And you can go up to these trees and like the little cookies that there's like, you know, gingerbread style cookie ornaments. Those things are like a foot tall. That tells you how big this tree is. So like this little stocking is like 12 inches high. It's huge. You could zoom in on the different ornaments. They're all very detailed, very fun. And then I made a title, and you might recognize that. That's from that, you know, the die cut that cuts out all the letters at the same time. I love that. I'll be crying when they discontinue that, because that is amazing for stuff like this. So there you go. I was able to plunk a lot of, almost all of my Magic Kingdom photos. I have some daytime ones, but I was able to plunk a lot of photos on those, and look how many layouts I have totally done, journaled, complete. And, but, you know, another day I did one of the Echo Park packs like that, using really common cuts. Where you might remember this page that I did with the Beach Club and Boardwalk, and all those really cool seashells. I did a few of our pictures on those, and did our yacht club. We stayed at the yacht club this time. Felt very hoity-toity, but hey, whatever. So these were very similar to the other ones that I made. I did strips on this one. I just turned them vertical, and so it's hard to see the strips. Like, you could easily just do small tucks instead, but a lot of these had, like this right here, were actually two vertical 4x6 pictures, but I just put it across, and you can kind of see where there's two mats there. And I was like, I don't think anybody would even notice looking through the book. So this is why I love to do the naked layouts, put the creative stuff together, make them the way they are, and then spread them all out on a table and just throw pictures that go on the different layouts. I just think that's fun. Let's see. They had our welcome. This was our room at the yacht club, and they had a welcome on the TV when we showed up. This is where our room was. This is like the main entrance to the boardwalk walkway into the pool right here, and there's our room right there. And we just sat there, and from our room we were able to see fireworks and everything. So if you guys ever want to see, this was our view from our balcony. If you guys ever want to see any pictures of, you know, the yacht club or beach club or the boardwalk, I've stayed at all of them. This was from our balcony right there. Isn't that wild? From our balcony. Those were Epcot fireworks. So we were very fortunate to, I asked to stay kind of close to the elevator, kind of close to the main entrance, because, you know, I just got over that really bad episode with my feet, and I just went through all that therapy because of my plantar fasciitis, and I was like, oh my gosh, we're gonna be walking so many miles a day. I don't need to add on to that by hiking through a hotel after a long day. So I looked at our steps, and we walked over 22,000 steps a day, which is a little over 10 miles. So that was every day but one. I think that we were there 7 days, and we basically walked over 20,000 steps every day but one. And I think that day was only 14,000. And I laugh at that only because right now I'm barely walking, 4,000 or 5,000 steps a day. I need to like up my steps really bad. So anyway, if you could go on to YouTube and just like my page or subscribe to my page or whatever, even if you don't watch YouTube, if you could, I would really appreciate that because I have to have 50 followers before they'll let me go live. And after a day like today where I could not go live on Facebook, I realized I really do need a backup. So I very much appreciate that. Okay. Thank you for watching, and thanks for hanging in there with all the technical weird glitches out of my control. And if you order through December, you will get this layout. So thank you very much for your support any way you give it. If you watch this and that's all you do, I'm happy. I'm thrilled. So thank you so much. Have a good afternoon. Bye-bye.